Hi, welcome to the next edition of Same Day Different Shirt. Paul and Mindy here, and just want to share our experience with you.
But there is, wait a minute, before we get going, there is an experience that I want to share with you because I explained in one of my videos where Same Day Different Shirt came from. So I go to Stargate every morning, the Starbucks in Target, so we just call it Stargate. And I was wearing a shirt that says, "Chicks dig the long ball" on it, and then it has a baseball player, and that's just an old saying for that. And so I decided that I would see if I can build a relationship. And so there's these two girls back there, they're very playful, and I say, "Hey, is it true, in fact, that chicks dig the long ball?" And they got awkward, and then they decided that yes, because each of their little kids is in Little League, and every time they even touch the ball, it's a home run. So it's more than exciting. So then the next day I was headed in, and one of the girls was coming out, and we got that little look, and I knew who she was. "Hey, how are you?" And then that was like, I don't know. And then like she remembered who it was, and I was already by her, and she turned around and said, "Oh, different shirt, huh?" And I was like, "Oh, that's awesome. You don't even know that that's the case." Yes. And I'm like, same day. And then she went on and walked on. I thought I had to share that experience with you guys before we moved on here. So that's Same Day Different Shirt. Hey, as we're going to show you this video now, and as we're approaching, I want to say two things. One, you'll see up at the top of it, that little white mark. That was not from a bird. That was us doing a Hollywood trick and taking the rear view mirror down so that you guys could see it. I assure you it has nothing to do with it falling down a couple months ago and I can't put it back up. That did not happen. It's because we love you and we want to bring you the best quality experience. So that's that. And also these white bridges. When I first saw them, I was like, hey, it's the Arch. I'm in St. Louis, but we're not. We're in Dallas. What having a friend told me, they have 2 or 3 of these bridges in different forms. And when they were trying to become a cool city, they were trying to become like a port city. And so they were introducing all that. So they paid some architect $10 billion or whatever it was to come up with these different things. And they came up with these bridges and what they look like, and big white bridges. And then they didn't become a port city. So at least they got a couple of semi-cool white bridges out of it. And if you're a city, yeah, bridges. I'm just saying. Yeah.
Yep. Cool. Well, thanks for that.
Sure.
And here we go. So we're actually heading into Dallas right now on this, not currently, but in the video. And we're going there for the Van Gogh immersion exhibit. This was a birthday gift to me, and we weren't able to go on my birthday. So here we are going 2 months later in our new hometown. And you see the entrance to the exhibit here.
So, I mean, that was cool. Like whoever came up with that's really good at it. I appreciated it because some people don't pay attention to people giving instructions. And so you can look over and go, hey, cool. Oh, that's where we're supposed to go. So and at first I wondered if that was the exhibit. It's not. There is actually more when we go inside.
And we had some expectations, yeah. Even though we said we had no expectations.
You said that.
I said I had no expectation. Yeah. Apparently I did have some expectation. Yeah. Based on some pictures that other people have posted. I just kind of, and you know, the fact that it's an exhibit. I just sort of assumed that you go in and you go to different rooms and you see the paintings and maybe they do some cool artsy kind of media stuff with them, but I sort
lasers
of still,
and like fog machines and kind of things like that.
Right, but like
so kind of like a church service. Okay, great. No.
But walking through like I don't know a lot of different rooms and experiencing a lot of different things. Yeah, that was not the case.
It was not the case.
Not the case.
Not the case.
So. I'll go ahead and start it here, but the way that they did it.
Oh, this was creepy. Like, look at that. Like, I felt like he was like, get out of my art kind of thing.
Right.
Like he was looking over you like that. Like when we posed for that, I thought this is cool. And no.
So the way that this is set up is in this particular place, they had 3 different rooms. All were playing. It's a media presentation of the Van Gogh art. And it's been animated. You'll see here as they do some various transitions with his art. very cool. But all three rooms are playing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
They're doing just a loop. So you can walk around from one to another. You can stay as long as you want to. You can see it as many times as you want to. But it's all the same.
So presentation was 35 minutes long, but you could stay as long as you wanted to or short as you wanted to and do all three,
Right.
whatever it was. So yeah, here's some different pictures. This is the second room. And
That's
this is me getting creepy.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is standing behind her. It was partly cool with this polished floor because that helped you feel like you were in it.
So the immersion part of it is you are in it.
You
and
are
you
actually
can see
in,
on this one here, the floor is involved. So the floor changes along with it.
So but now we can say like we're really into Van Gogh.
Because we are literally
in
Van
Van
Gogh's art. Yeah, but that's the cool thing. I mean, it changes around you. And there's music to go along with it. So you can listen to this.
A variety of different kinds of music.
Right.
Some of it was nice is the whole thing in the exhibit, and there you are. You can almost feel drawn into whatever the story was.
Right. And right there you could see that there was an upstairs, and we actually did go upstairs for a little while too.
Sunflowers.
To get a different, this was part of the upstairs exhibit even, because you're still surrounded by it even in the upstairs area. But you get the full experience. And you can, like I said, you can go upstairs, you can move around, so you can get it from different angles.
Basically, that one, I just wanted her to get a look at the guy's shoes because I really like them and I want to know where to get them later. So that's what that picture was. So that was another experience too. That guy was close to us all the time with a bald head, and the pictures were just playing on the top of his head. And that's what actually motivated me to go upstairs so I could see the picture on his head looking down. It was wonderful.
Right.
It's fantastic. Yeah.
So in general, I don't know that I've ever necessarily been that into Van Gogh's art. Paul and I really got more connected to it through an episode of Doctor Who. So I'm quite into Doctor Who. Paul enjoys it as well. And there's a really beautiful episode. I would say it's definitely one of the best episodes of Doctor Who. Yeah. Even if you're not into Doctor Who, I would suggest watching that.
I thought early on that was actually a documentary. When we watched it, it was not. The other thing I learned there is Vincent Van Gogh is not named after Vincent Vaughn. No. Vince Vaughn. His middle name is not Vaughn, it's Willem. Vincent Willem Van Gogh.
Neither is Vince Vaughn named after.
No, it's not. You're welcome. Educational moments. I've learned a lot now. Right. This is the kind of thing that I feel like we should do in elementary school. This is just like kids have it. Just go after it. And by the end of the year, you're probably going to come up with something like this. Because quite frankly, some of them look like you just, hey kids, here's some finger paints, and go after it.
Sure.
Yeah. Hey. Awkward pose.
So in this room here, there's these glass towers put up. Oh, sorry. This one.
There were some glass towers put up.
We'll get back to that.
This is cool. This is so moving kind of vibe to it. Again, invited into a movie. I really felt like I was part of the scene. This part was an experience, more so than some of the other parts. Until the next one. So one of the things that was good that I found interesting. Oh, here's
So this is the room with the towers of mirrors. And it really adds a whole nother level to the experience.
Yeah, I could have stayed in this room the whole time because you can walk in between the mirrors.
They're kind of set up in a maze.
Yeah,
a little bit.
This one's really cool. One thing I really thought was interesting because it was a welcome to Texas moment was when you entered, you were given this little key to get in or whatnot. They also said, hey, there's a bar upstairs. you go ahead and buy some snacks before you go in. And when I hit this room, I was like, think about that. Like, talk about immersion. A couple of drinks and then walking into this room. Now that's an experience. And so I thought, hey, welcome to Texas. Here's some beer and go invest in some art.
Right.
Also, while we're looking at this, that happened at the movie theater. The place, a little refrigerator up front where you buy your tickets, just filled with liquor. Welcome to Texas. Have some liquor and see a movie. That's your experience. So that's pretty cool that it kept on going. Come on, how cool is this?
I love the reflective.
Yeah, and then stars just exploding in the background kind of thing, like takes you in a moment of history, like this is probably where the dinosaurs went extinct.
Yeah. Yeah, so they encourage you to get snacks and walk around with them. When we walked in, we were on a ground floor, kind of, you walk upstairs to get in, but then the main floor there, that was where you got your tickets, and there was a gift shop. And so there's different levels that you can buy your tickets at. And we bought at the second level because we got a buy one, get one free. So I went ahead and bumped us up to the next level so that we would get a free cushion to sit on during it and a free poster.
Upscale, friends.
Upscale.
Highest experience.
However, I would suggest there is not really a need for either of those. It really wasn't worth the money. They had chairs to sit around in and stools and stuff to sit on. A lot of it, we just stood. It was lovely to walk around within it. We didn't need to sit down on it.
No.
The poster, I mean, you each end up with a poster and they both say Van Gogh.
The exact same poster.
Exact same poster. Yeah. So I don't know that it's worth it. I would save that money and use it at the gift shop if there's something special that you want to go home with, or at the bar.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So if you want to take something home with you, then you have the option to choose for yourself what you want to take home with you, and you haven't spent the extra money on getting in.
All right. So final evaluation, was it worth it for your birthday?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Was it worth it for the money?
Yeah, for what we spent,
right.
Definitely.
That's what we kind of agree on. Like, it was cool, but 2 for 1 was the way to go.
It's pretty pricey when you buy separate tickets. It's pretty pricey. The nice thing about bumping it up was that we had a lot more flexibility on the time that we could be there. I'm not sure if they limit the amount of time you can be in there. It does kind of give you a time frame. So we bought a ticket from 1 to 2, but because of the bumping up of the price, we had freedom to be there longer than that. We had freedom to come before 1 and leave after 2.
So the time thing for ours didn't really matter.
And not as much. I mean, you still had to be there approximately around that time.
You put a tracker on you.
Right. But here's the deal. You really don't need to be there longer than an hour.
No.
You really don't.
Right.
I would say that an hour is probably pushing it. I mean, if you really get into that kind of thing, you really want to stay an hour, great.
Yeah.
And you can sit in a chair and just immerse yourself in it, go through it a couple times, but really you don't. It really doesn't need to be longer than an hour. So I don't know that you need to pay that extra money to be there a longer time. And we didn't have any problem getting there on time. No. So we were pretty much there between 1 and 2.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's our review of Mindy's birthday. Happy birthday, baby. You're worth every cent, even at full price.
Thanks.
Go get yourself an immersion. It's worth it if you can stomach the full cost. So
yeah,
see you.
Definitely.